content over everything.
Okay, I want to take this opportunity to address an issue that I've come to the park for, and that is the slander by an individual called James Speaker's Corner Online, about Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So last week he did a video where he claims he showed that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was an immoral character. The claims he made are nothing new. So these sort of claims have been happening for at least 20, 30 years, and in the age of social media, you've got many lemmings who, oh yeah, he's absolutely right. So every single claim he made has been addressed, and I urge people to go to a channel called EDF Dawah, and every single thing that James has said has been refuted. If you can also go to Yahya Snow and watch the refutations of every single thing that James has said. Islamophobes, and I'm a bit surprised with James because I thought he was a reasonable gentleman, and I came here to have a discussion and a debate with him. Islamophobes, what they tend to do is cherry pick things. And I know, oh no, there's no such thing as Islamophobia, and people try to use that, which is, I don't believe in shutting down debate, and I believe there's certain people who use this word to shut down debate, but I think that there is a reality to Islamophobia. And I think those who do not want to acknowledge it are the ones who are Islamophobic generally. So James started his discussion about Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying Islamophobia, and this is a made-up word, but surely aren't all words made up? In fact, he got this from one of the big atheist preachers who is now deceased. Those who know. It's his famous claim that Islamophobia made up word to lock down debate. Well, no. If you're preaching and you're cherry picking verses of the Quran, or you're cherry picking and what this is a trick of the Islamophobes. So it's targeted to cause doubt to Muslims, but also mislead non-Muslims. So here's the trick. You get a bit of the Quran, and you quote that verse. After you've quoted the verse of the Quran, you find a tafsir, which is it's an interpretation by a scholar, and there's hundreds of tafsirs, but you get the one that suits you, and you find that little bit. Oh no, don't forget, you throw a hadith in there as well, and you create an argument. Then, if you want to back up your point, you also found amongst the hundreds of seerahs, and seerahs, the lives of the Prophet ﷺ, you get one of those seerahs that suit your point of view, and you add that on. So this is the trick of Islamophobes, and this trick has been exposed many times, but I want people to understand this, because there's hundreds and hundreds of opinions within Islam. Islam is not one tradition, it's broad. And most of the scholars have differences of opinion. You've got the Hanafis, you've got the Malikis, you've got the Shafis, you've got the Zaydis, you've got the Jafaris, you've got the Ibad, and then they disagree amongst each other. So what Islamophobes did, and what James did in particular last week, was despicable. What he did, and I expected a lot better from James, was he cherry-picked certain situations in the lifetime of the Prophet ﷺ, right? And what he did, he went through the standard claims, yeah? So I've got a refutation to every single claim that he made against Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and I will challenge James live on COE. We'll have a live debate and we'll go through point by point. What James has done, he's done the classic machine gun tactic where you just throw 10 or 12 allegations, and each allegation is so big that you need time to break it down. So amongst the allegations was that the Prophet ﷺ had someone assassinate a blind man, not letting you know that that hadith has been questioned by several scholars. Yeah, the person who narrated that hadith was Ikrimah, who many people have called a Dajjal. And if you don't believe it was Ikrimah, then you've got people within that chain, such as Yahya bin Sa'id Qattan, who Imam Nasa'i was said was a liar. So you've got, that's just a taster, James. That's just a taster. Yeah? You've got this made up story that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam saw Zainab bin Jash and fell in love with her and then got his adopted son to divorce it. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. Brother Akil from ADF Dawah has refuted this completely. So we will expose this nonsense story about the Prophet ﷺ marrying his adopted son's daughter because of lust. And this is what Islamophobes do nowadays. They create this disgusting picture in their perverted brains about Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ, and they mislead the masses. They mislead the masses. You got wife beating, which has been done over so many times. Quran, Surah 4, 3, 4. Yeah, we can go through it. For those who can't wait that long, read the book What the Quran Meant. Yeah, by Gary Willis, and he's got a brilliant section. And he's a Christian, by the way. And he's a fair Christian. Read that. See what he says about that. But we will go through that as well. We'll go through the hadith about the Prophet ﷺ striking Aisha's chest and causing her pain. Was this a beating? Was this a beating? Do you understand idiosyncrasies? Do you know the culture of the time, what it meant to strike the chest? Because we've got numerous examples of Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ striking the chest of Mawla Ali. You've got many other companions. This was something they did at the time, and I'll give you many hadiths in reference to this. Then you had the nonsense about massacring Bani Qurayza, which is so exaggerated. Read the early history and read how this story has developed, and it became from a few people to no people, then to 500 people to 700 people. I think you quoted 700, James. I've read 800 people. You've had that. So we're going to go through those traditions. If you don't want to wait till then, read what Tom Holland says in The Shadow of the Sword. And you know Tom Holland is he's no friend of the Muslims in many ways. But read what he says. He says this story is likely to be made up. So we'll go through all of these. Zainab bin Jash, the Prophet ﷺ, we'll talk about his empathy. So I'm going to show you people how a great character Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Inshallah, we'll show how great a character, how he had empathy towards the poor, how he helped people, how he changed the whole social structure, and Arabia was better for it. Now, I'm not going to defend dynasties, so I'm not going to defend what's happened after this. I like to be fair. I'm not going to defend what happened after Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed away. I'm not going to defend Bani Umayyah, Bani Abbas, or scholars here, there, whatever. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm not going to defend individual scholars, but I am going to defend Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because people are being misled.
Muhammad, he doesn't want to defend him.
Rahmatan lil alameen.
He doesn't need for me to defend him.
No, so this is what we're going to be discussing, inshallah. So James, we will have that discussion, inshallah. We will have it on COE. I'm away on business next week. When I come back, we'll go through all the allegations point by point. Even if it takes a week, we'll go through each allegation. And people, don't be misled by the hype. Be fair. Look at other sources. Be fair. Yeah? So, Jazakumullah here. Thank you, everyone. Be fair. Do your research. Don't just believe what everyone says about Islam and the Prophet ﷺ or Muslims. Thank you.
Can't take away everything from your melanin.
Come, man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
Some of these people have no other life. You'll discuss about your accusation that Guru Tegh Bahadur was killing Muslims in North India.
What you're doing
Hence
is wrong.
why,
What you're
no,
doing is
what
wrong.
I'm doing is
what
right.
you-
And what I would do is
if
continue.
you've got an issue with him in terms of history,
No, that's not my issue with it. That's my new
Yeah,
part of it.
but what you're doing about and trying to link him is wrong.
What?
All right, let me just tell you my experience. I followed Adnan. I didn't used to like him, yeah, right? You know my methodology.
Who are you talking about?
Adnan Rashid, yeah, right? But I will tell you, since I've been to the park, on my son's life, I've seen Adnan take on extremists. On my son's life, I've seen it. Like, there was people trying to preach Khilafah, we're going to take over, Tawheed al-Hakamiyya, yeah? I've seen Adnan was the one that shut them down. If it weren't people like for Adnan, there'll be a lot more extremists in this world. If you go up north, I'm not from London anymore. If you go up north, there wasn't people like Adnan, there'll be far more.